Welcome. Whoa. Masking tape makes it fucking weird. That's kind of cool. Ooh. Okay, so this isn't really a scary story, but I already had this written. I found it while going through some old stuff. This is the start of a murder mystery novel, cop novel, that I started working on in college. I wrote the first chapter of it and put quite a bit of work into it, but ended up deciding that I was ripping off Dirty Harry. And I think there's a solid argument to be made for that, but I figured I would turn it into this video. And I put a piece of masking tape over the camera, and it is making it look like crazy as shit. Ooh. Okay. Uh, 1 second. Let me mute for a second. Okay, so I decided to call the book I Hate to Say Goodbye, which, if I can find, there it is, cursor. I did that mostly because I was into Raymond Chandler novels at the time, and I thought that sounded like one. And I wanted one of those set in the 21st century, but like told in kind of a noir way. And I wanted it set in Tulsa. I thought that would be cool. So, chapter Chili Dogs and Robbery. It was your typical dreary fall day in Tulsa. The leaves are falling, the nights were growing colder, and the people are getting more desperate by the minute. The country is in the middle of a major gas shortage that seems without end, and as a result, the crime rate is skyrocketing. Our man is a plainclothes detective in the Tulsa Police Department and drives his personal car, which is a metallic forest green 1969 Chevelle with black racing stripes that has a removable red bubble light for pursuits and getting to work on time. He's not the perfect cop, but he's a good cop, despite having a flair for hookers, booze, and practical jokes on other officers. He is a Vietnam veteran and was involved in special operations, which involved working for MACV-SOG and black operations for the CIA. Our man is African American, but prefers to be called black or American, and thinks that all this diversity crap is what's killing his country. He is 40 years old, 6'2", in shape, but not like an annoying gym rat Greek god of a man. His hair is shaved nice and tight, as is his face. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll and read, and this thing's jumping around. His teeth are white. His teeth are as white as a Trident commercial, and he is a smooth talker. Today he's wearing a black leather newsboy cap backwards as he does most days, a pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarer sunglasses, a pair of black Corcoran jump boots, a pair of Levi's blue jeans, and a yellow KC in the Sunshine Band t-shirt, and a black leather jacket. His badge is number 66842 and hangs around his neck on a leather backer on a ball chain. His cuffs are in a leather case on his right side at his 5 o'clock position. On his left are two spare magazines and a Jackass Leather Company magazine carrier. His gun is an ASP modified Smith & Wesson Model 39 and 9mm. It sits in the Jackass shoulder rig under his left arm. Under his right arm is one of two Smith & Wesson J-frame 5-shot 38s he carries as backup guns, the other being in an ankle holster. In his pockets are a leather wallet with a Special Forces crest motto embossed on it, a pair of brass knuckles, an Italian switchblade, and a speed loader for the 38s. Around his neck, besides his badge, he has his dog tags and a war medallion, much like the 1960s peace medallion, sending the opposite message. And on his right wrist sits a POW MOA bracelet with his name on it. And on his left sits an Omega Speedmaster watch that reads 12:30 p.m. October 17th, 1979. We find our man at lunch, doing the same thing he does every day, getting a chili dog from a hot dog cart he likes downtown. As he sits at the cart's one lone patio table, he starts noticing things that are amiss. No one has come out of the bank across the street in 20 minutes, and he has been there. And Sorry, I keep fucking up reading this. I write better than I read, apparently. Let me start that again. Uh, no one has come out of the bank across the street in the 20 minutes he has been sitting there, and the only car on the street has a pile of cigarette butts next to the driver's door and is parked with the motor running. He does a quick count of the butts and can figure that car has been parked in front of that bank for close to 30 minutes. As he eats the last of his chili dog, the thought occurs to him that he needs to go into the bank and see what's going on for himself. But before he does that, he goes over to his car and called in a robbery in progress with the address of the bank and told the dispatch to send the cavalry. Just as he finished saying that, he heard the unmistakable sound of a muffled gunshot from inside the building. He picks the radio handset back up and says, "Make that armed robbery in progress. Consider suspects to be armed and dangerous." As he walks towards the bank, he slips his badge into his pocket and tries to see inside. But the windows are smoked glass, so all he can see is shadows moving. He puts his hand on the door and slowly opens it, only to be greeted by a shotgun barrel and pulled into the bank and thrown on the floor. He screamed, "Hey man, what's your problem?" He regained his footing and continued, "Can't a N-word go into a bank without having a gun pointed at him?" The gunman, "We're robbing the place, so get in the corner. Sit down and shut up or you'll end up like him." And he pointed the body without a head in the middle of the bank lobby. Upon seeing this, our man wasn't even phased. The gunman took note of this and asked, "What's your fucking problem, N-word? Sit the fuck down." Our man looked deep into the eyes behind the man's ski mask and said, It may trouble you to know this, but this is not the first time I've had a gun pointed at me. And that's not the first time I've seen a dead body with its head blown off. You have failed to comprehend the gravity of the shitstorm you have started." At this instant, our man had grabbed the barrel of the shotgun, pointed it towards the ceiling, drawn his ASP 9mm, and put it to the gunman's head and said, "You want the cuffs or a box? We've got plenty of both." At this point, the gunman was shitting his pants in fear and decided to try to go for a revolver in his waistband. Bang! Well, I guess he chose the box. As the dead man fell, our man held on to the shotgun, holstered his ASP, checked the chamber and the magazine of the shotgun for shells, and it was about 5 seconds after that when two palookas that were loading up cash in the vault came running out of the vault, guns drawn. Our man let loose with the first blast from his confiscated shotgun and winged the first man out of the vault and went to cover behind a column, and the second gunman fired upon him. In one smooth movement, he slid from one column to another a few feet away and simultaneously shot the second gunman in the chest. He hit the ground dead. By this time, the guy he had winged had managed to get back to shooting at him, so he returned fire with one shotgun blast to the head, and the last gunman hit the ground dead. So 3 shotgun blasts and a couple more dead guys later, and our man was asking the people in the bank if there were any more men lurking in the back, and then he double-checked just to satisfy his own paranoia, and he found no one. By this time, the cavalry had the bank surrounded and the getaway driver in custody. As he exited the bank, he was greeted with a bouquet of gun barrels and told to drop the shotgun. He yelled, "It's me, motherfuckers. Can't a black man walk out of a bank with a shotgun anymore?" As he held up his badge, laughing to himself, it was at this time he realized these cops were being led by Lieutenant Dixon, who hates him with a passion. Lieutenant John Dixon was a bad cop and a slob. He was white, stood 6'3", had a beer belly, slightly receding hairline, was wearing brown suit pants with a at one time white shirt that was now a dingy yellow, and a red tie that hung pendulous next to his rusted badge. His suit coat nowhere to be seen. Lieutenant Dixon, or Dix as our man liked to call him, Dix spelled like Dicks, I like to call him, presented quite an unpleasant picture. One of Tulsa's finest at work. And our man and many others thought, with cops like Dix, it's a miracle we solve any cases. He begrudgingly approached Lieutenant Dix and said, "What's kicking, Dix?" The lieutenant screamed back, You fucking hothead motherfucker. Do you ever not ever wait for backup? You could have gotten all those people killed and yourself. Not anyone who would miss a scum. Sorry, not that anyone would miss a scumbag like you. Our man. Well, Anne was interrupted. Well, you what? You piece of shit. You don't give a crap about the public safety. Yippee ki I used to be Macbesog. I can do anything. I'm a super soldier. Was that what you were going to say? Our man looked Dick straight in the face. Says, "Fuck you." Sorry. Fuck you. At least I'm not some draft dodging scum like you. I had to respond to this once I started hearing gunfire from inside and was thrown into that gunfight as a result. If you have a problem with me personally, okay. But if you ever question my commitment to the protection of the innocent again, I'll put my boots so far up your ass, you'll taste leather. Understood? You corrupt piece of shit? Dixon looked stunned and managed to squeak out, I'm reporting you to Captain Walker. You're not getting away with all this. Our man said back, good. Tell him I told you to go fuck yourself, too. As he walked away, he imagined the look Lieutenant Dixon must have on his face and chuckled with pride and marveled at the fact that Dix thought that the captain would do a damn thing, considering the captain and our man are longtime friends, and the captain has hated Dix ever since he squirmed his way out of an internal affairs investigation for doing some favors for the mob. What a piece of shit. Our man continued walking through the huge mess of first responders to an unassuming car and a large van, both labeled medical examiner. The ME was a young-looking man, some would say kid, but our man knows different. Dr. Roger Blake had been an EMT in Chicago and seen his share of shit before going to medical school. And though he looked 18, was actually in his early 30s. He was white, 5'6", very skinny, wore a black suit with a white shirt, black tie, black horn-rimmed glasses, and had his black hair neatly combed back. As our man approached, Dr. Blake threw a pack of Marlboros at him, followed by a lighter, and said, looks like you could use a cigarette. How many you got for me? Our man, 4 total. 3 scumbags I wasted. And the 4th looks to be the bank security guard. I guess he tried something, they blew his head off. With a shotgun. Blake, Jesus, you alright? Our man shrugs and says, I've been through worse. I got to use you want the cuffs or the box line finally. I came up with that like 3 years ago. That's some cold shit to say to a motherfucker before I shoot them. This is the first time there's been any talking before the shooting started. Oh, and they all chose the box, by the way. Laughter from our man and the ME's assistants. Blake, you know this isn't a joking matter, man. You could have died. You should go talk to someone. Our man, like that cop shrink you're always sweet on? No thanks. But feel free to use me as an excuse to go talk to her seriously fine ass while you're there. Do me another favor and ask the bitch out so I don't have to be a part of your lame ass excuse to go see her anymore. Blake, you don't. Just wing it, man. You plan bank heists, you plan attacks. When it comes to love, you just go with it. That's what I do. Blake, no, you just pay for it. You need a real woman and not more whores. Our man. First, they prefer to be called escorts. And second, I don't pay to be with them. They want to be with me. And I leave them money so they can take care of themselves. It's what upstanding gentlemen like myself do for our fine bitches, Blake. Blake, tell yourself whatever you want, but everybody knows that's some grade A bullshit. Our man. To each his own. But if you don't hit that shrink soon, someone else is going to be leaving money on her nightstand, and that's a fact. Blake, I'll ask her out tonight. Don't worry. Oh, and Harvey said he wanted to see you after you get done prying the captain's boot out of your ass. He's in your guy's office at the station. Our man. Thanks. Am I in that much trouble? Blake. About this? No, but your package finally arrived in the captain's mail. Prepare to get hammered twice. Blake laughs hysterically. Our man. Yeah, maybe it was a bad day for him to get a box filled with air activated expanding foam from me. Did it fill his entire office? Blake. It filled his office and half of the bullpen. It was hilarious. He's like 80% sure it was you. You do have a reputation, our man. I know. I'll see you back at the station, Blake. See you later. And give me back my cigarettes, our man. You always catch me. Our man starts walking back to his car and thinks to himself, good luck with those cigarettes. I still got your lighter. Laughs to himself. I'll give it back later in a can of firecrackers or something clever. In the distance, he could hear the Emmy calling his name and saying he wanted his lighter back, and our man just got back into his car, started it. As the engine purred and the sound of Creedence Clearwater Revival's Down in the Quarters start to radiate through the air, our man starts his drive back to the station where he would undoubtedly get chewed out by Captain Walker. Chapter 2, Captain Walker and the Station. And that's all I ever wrote. Captain Walker, I imagined to be Christopher Walken. And I was going to write him as Christopher Walken. I hope that was somewhat listenable to. I don't usually read and do these, and I'm kind of stumbling over my own words and shit because I hadn't read this in a long time. Tell me what you guys think. Good story. I wrote this probably 10 years ago. So this is old. Maybe not 10, maybe more like 7 years ago, but it was a while ago. I'm reading this off of an old laptop right now because it's the only place I have this. I intend to write more things. I don't know if I'm going to write more fiction or not, but I find it fun. If I can figure out a way to post this on Discord for you to read it, I might do that. Tell me if you guys want that, or is this enough? Thanks for watching.